Hello beautiful souls and welcome to another pick card reading. Today we're doing a pick card on what is Saturn retrograde going to allow to happen in your life, which was impossible prior to this transit. So we had Saturn go retrograde at the end of June and we're going to have this transit until November 15th. So in that span of time I want to see what is going to be unlocked for you, what is going to be quote-unquote allowed, because Saturn is the lord of time and karma and restriction, and very often wherever we have Saturn we feel like certain things are not allowed or they're more difficult. So I want to see where you're going to have improvements and more ease, more flow, or you would feel like finally you're allowed to do certain things, finally the energies are flowing in the right way. So yeah, this is basically messages about this transit, and there isn't much else that I want to mention in the intro, so let's get right into it. We've got 3 piles as usual: pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. You can pause this video to select whichever pile resonates with you, and the timestamps will be in the description box as well as the comment section below. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. So let's open up your cards and see what Saturn retrograde is bringing to you. We've got the Direction Guardian, choose your path. With a steady mind, I am connected to our collective experience. We've got the Third Eye Chakra. We've got the sign of Leo, the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So some of you might be Capricorn risings, you may have Saturn as your ruler. We've got Mermaids, interesting. And we've got Awakening. Okay. So the thing about Capricorn is that it's not just a goat, it's the fish goat. The constellation depicts a fish goat. Half goat, half fish, with the tail and everything. So the fact that you have mermaids, I think, points to this fact more significantly. I feel like I want to begin with these cards, with the Awakening card and the Mermaids. So because Saturn is going retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and you have the Awakening card, you may have certain spiritual revelations, or you might finally accept a spiritual truth that you've been denying, that you didn't want to accept before, or something that felt incomplete in terms of a story, an idea, a philosophy, something that felt like did not completely resonate with you now may start to resonate. You are rethinking your awakening journey. You are probably reflecting upon how far you've come and what destination have you reached after you had your awakening. You may realize that you're not exactly where you want to be, or that you expected something else out of the spiritual journey. So there is a general reflection upon the path you've walked ever since your third eye opened, ever since you became open to spirit, basically. It's like, where did my spirituality take me? What did my spirituality do for me? I think you're gonna be reflecting on this question, especially with the Leo card. There is a lot of focus on the self and the identity, and you might be questioning if your spirituality affected you in a positive or a negative way, or maybe in both ways in different aspects of your life. But there is definitely a question around what did it bring to me? Like, what gifts, what blessings came after I had my so-called awakening? With the mermaids, I don't know why, but I really resonate with you guys receiving a message in a bottle or a message from a very distant foreign land, either from a foreigner or you're waiting for a message from spirit perhaps, and that's why I'm getting this distance between you and the one who's sending the message. And I think you guys are reflecting on this communication with either a real person or with spirit, that there is a lot of distance between you and that that individual or spirit. With the direction guardian, I think that a lot of you have been wanting to change your path. A lot of you might have received a new calling, but it felt impossible. It felt like it was so different from how you've established yourself and your reputation, because you have Capricorn and Leo. These are the two signs related to reputation, social status, how people see you, what you've achieved, and how are you recognized for that. And I feel like with the mermaids, a lot of you feel alienated from the things that you've been doing so far. A lot of you want to create a new path for yourselves, pave a new path for yourselves. But for the longest time, I think you denied this, or it felt impossible. Like you couldn't clearly see, how am I going to change paths and still remain connected to a collective that I love? Maybe you love your coworkers, maybe you love your clients, maybe you love the people you work with, or the people who are involved on your path right now, and taking a new journey will ultimately change your community. So I feel a lot of you were concerned about this. What would your community think about these changes? Or would you find the community you love as much in these foreign lands? With the Awakening card, for some reason I'm getting Virgo energy and Neptune energy with mermaids. So this combination between Virgo and Neptune is about how the mind and the imagination can heal you, how the healing that you're going through right now is very internal, and somehow it takes place through some sort of imaginary fantasy land. I'm getting that the imagination right now is very involved in you finding out a new path or healing. Maybe you've been with Leo and Capricorn set on a journey where you wanted publicity or recognition. You needed that in order to be successful. For example, if you were doing social media, of course, in order to be successful with it, you need some sort of publicity, so you wanted that. Or if you were working in such an industry where building a name for yourself was crucial in order to have clients, to make a living off of that, I see that there was a lot of focus on proving yourself, proving that you were, capable, that you were worthy, that you were the right fit for certain positions. With Neptune and Virgo, I see that there is a shift toward a job that is a bit more introverted, or toward a job that is a little bit more fantastical somehow, imaginative somehow. The imagination is much more involved rather than who you are. Now, this is interesting because I feel like at the center of your career stood, for many of you, your individuality, your personality. With Leo, maybe maybe you've been modeling, maybe you've been acting, maybe you've been a singer, but something about your identity really, this is what your career revolved around for the most part. Your identity or your beauty, your face with Leo. Leo and Capricorn also, by the way, can talk about family legacy. So once again, maybe your identity stood in the center of your career because it was a family legacy that you inherited. So it was your family name that put you in certain rooms with certain people. And I see that from now on, a lot of you want to take on more creative roles and a bit more introverted, or there's this almost desire to go behind the scenes and have your work be recognized instead of your name or your face being recognized. Whatever this idea, this imagination field, wherever it is guiding you to go, it feels that it's connected to the collective experience. It feels like whatever you come up with a creation for, it will be connected to the collective experience. It will somehow support or attract a huge community and support them in their own healing, in their own mental health. So there is something about creating things that help people with their mental health. Could be writing a book, it could be creating, coming up with a movie script. But with the mermaids, I'm getting a lot of connecting with people despite the distance. Connecting with people almost on the astral field, like creating something that affects their dreams. I see somehow your vision projected into people's dreams, into people's imagination. It's like whatever your vision is, once again, whether it's a book, a story, right, a movie script, a song, a painting, somehow this is supposed to be seen by people or read or heard, and then to influence their own imagination in some shape or form. So your third eye is currently quite active. I think that this retrograde is allowing a period of time where your third eye is more active than usual. If you've had difficulty with channeling, psychic visions and intuition, etc., with this card here, I feel, and with the mermaids, I feel like you're accessing the spiritual plane with more ease once again, because while Saturn was in Pisces, you could have felt quite serious about your spiritual journey and awakening, but at the same time you could have felt restricted or isolated from your spirituality and from your visions. So I do see that your visions are returning with full force. Alright, I'm going to leave these cards and I'm going to start pulling tarot cards. This is interesting, but I have a vision of a necklace, and I'm getting that this necklace either enhanced or blocked your abilities. There might be a necklace that recently broke, tore off of your neck or something. I'm getting that there were certain jewelry and certain jewelry broke, and it was blocking you in some way. I'm not sure why. And another thing that I'm getting here is, for some of you, you might be coming up with a line of jewelries, especially necklaces. And it might be jewelry that is related to certain chakras or certain spiritual abilities. But I'm getting some of you have lost amulets, or they broke, someone stole them, something happened, and you no longer wear that amulet, and it's better that you no longer wear it. Three of Cups reversed. Yeah, especially if that amulet was gifted by an acquaintance, like a friend of a friend. For some reason, I'm getting a friend of a friend. You bought it from a friend of a friend. I don't think this is, for many of you, a close friend. I feel like it's just a random friend that maybe recently entered your life. You got to know each other from someone else, and they had to gift you something. Maybe there was an occasion with the Three of Cups, maybe there was a birthday, a party, a reason why they had to gift you something, or you bought something from them out of pressure and you felt like you should wear it because you paid for it already, but it wasn't working in the way it was supposed to. If it was like a bracelet with a little charm for good luck or for protection, ever since you started wearing it, maybe you noticed that, oh shit, negative stuff started to happen, and I did not expect that. So yeah, something happened to a bracelet, but specifically I'm seeing a necklace. For most of you, this is gonna be a necklace. And it's better off this way. There may also be things in your house that you're like, I'm going to repair it. Something broke and you promised yourself you're going to repair it, but if you haven't repaired it for so long, do you use it? If you do, sure, go repair it. But if it's something like maybe a cloth that tore, once again, a jewelry of some kind, especially if it's a gift and it broke, did you need it in the last 2 months or even the last couple of weeks? Did you use it? Did you see it and think, oh, I'm gonna need that at some point, so I better fix it? Like, there might be certain things that you were promising to fix, but it's almost like they've already expired energetically, and fixing them won't help. So you don't need to really put in the effort. Oh, wow, okay. The Magician. Definitely there's something around fixing stuff, improving stuff. This is very interesting. We've got the Magician, so there is magic in your life, there is trickster energy in your life right now. A lot of the manifestations, a lot of the coincidences that happen in your life right now, I feel like are the result of someone's intentions. I feel like people think about you a lot at this time. I don't know why. I'm seeing a lot of energy surround you. You are the center of attention. You're always the talk of the group. There is a lot of mental and also spiritual energy around you, around your name. Maybe around your relationships with the Three of Cups, maybe around your love life, around your friendships. I don't know why people are speculating so much about your life and about you. So I think that there is a reason why the Awakening card and the Mermaids, that introversion that I channeled with Virgo and Neptune coming through these cards, that introversion I think is a self-protective mechanism. I feel like a lot of you feel called to keep certain things to yourselves, keep your manifestation to yourself. Maybe you've been sharing too much and you realize it's not a good thing. Maybe you feel like whenever you share something, it's jinxed or you never really do it. But there's a lot of attention being paid to you without you even knowing. There might be someone in a friend group right now who is not how they present themselves to be. For some reason, I'm getting Libra energy. They might be a Libra or have a Libra rising. I'm getting chameleon energy, but it's not as simple as, oh, they're a Gemini. There is something charming about them. There is something Venusian about this person with the Three of Cups. Like, they know how to have fun and make you comfortable, but then you feel off at certain moments. This person is giving me strong Libra energy, and I think that the retrograde in Pisces, the retrograding Saturn in Pisces is also allowing you to pierce through certain illusions that it felt difficult to see beyond certain illusions, because when Saturn was direct in Pisces, this is probably not for all of you, but maybe for those of you who have this transit happening in your 3rd house, maybe in your 12th house, maybe in your 7th house. There is something about illusions becoming reality, or seeing solid proof of certain ideas and visions and dreams and convincing yourself that they must be true. But now that it's retrograde, I think you will see how even when Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, we after all have the sign of Pisces, which is the sign of, once again, magic, illusionary tricks, visual confusion. The imagination is confused. So after all, I think you will realize that certain things that appeared to be too good to be true are actually really too good to be true, because they aren't really true. Knight of Wands reversed. The Knight of Wands reversed can talk about impulsiveness and aggression. It can talk about also the pressure to move faster than you're ready to do. I'm also getting someone almost like a secret admirer, but this has more of a physical attraction going on than a romantic attraction. So someone might be very physically attracted to you. Someone might be speculating about, once again, your love life when it comes to the physical aspect of it. Oh, let me tell you, especially if you have Saturn in Pisces, going through the 7th house, you may have two situations right here based on what I see in the cards. Either your friends are, because the Three of Cups, the friends is reversed, either your friends are trying to manipulate you into leaving a partner that is actually good for you just because they're jealous of it, jealous of the relationship, or you may have your partner and your friends keeping a secret from you. You may have a partner who is going behind your back, doing physical stuff with people. Definitely with that Knight of Wands reversed, with that Magician, and with the gifts. Oh my god, be careful around people who love bomb you, especially with gifts. Like, they always buy you stuff. I'm gonna buy you this, I'm gonna buy you that, especially in a romantic relationship. I understand that some people have this love language, but when it's too much, it's almost as if they compensate for something they do behind your back and they feel guilty. So be careful around such things, such dynamics playing out. Pay close attention. Because Leo also rules the 5th house of dating, dating around, basically hooking up, having fun and enjoying the pleasures of life. So yeah, this Three of Cups reversed, the Knight of Wands reversed, the Magician on top, there is a lot of mischievous energy happening in the cards. And I think that Saturn retrograde will allow you to see people for their true colors. It will allow an awakening. I think so many of you have been afraid of going on a new path because you didn't want to lose friends, you didn't want to lose your community, etc., etc. But I think you will finally, the veil will lift up. The illusions you were, and the spells that you were under will finally lift up, and you will see people for who they really are. Your partner for who they really are. Your friends, your community, your clients. Perhaps you've had clients that didn't want to pay, or they were trying to bargain with you about certain things. Maybe you had clients that, I don't know, were just, I don't know, not treating you very respectfully, but you were so committed to this community and to these people. Or maybe you had clients that simply you no longer wanted to work with, but still you felt so bound to this community, as if you owe it something, because that's your legacy. I think any illusions will lift up, and finally you will be able to see how much you've been gaslighting yourself into liking certain people and staying in certain places. Alright, Pile 1? I feel like I could close the reading now, but my curiosity, my Gemini placements are like, let's find out more. So I'm gonna pull a couple other cards and see what comes through. And after that, we'll close the reading. But let's see, is there anything else that will be allowed, that you will learn about during this transit of Saturn retrograde? Any other decisions that are advised? Anything else that is happening right now that you need to know about? Eight of Wands reversed. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. With the Eight of Wands reversed, this is almost like I'm getting information, right? A message that with the Eight of Wands upright would be spread very quickly. But something is slowing down the process of information spreading. The Eight of Wands reversed also feels as if you have a hard time communicating with spirit, or having a hard time listening to your wiser voice and your higher self. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Things will change for you. Karmic cycles are being closed. New cycles are beginning. You've got the Wheel of Fortune basically twice, because the Direction Guardian in this Oracle deck is the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. One more, please. Where is this wheel taking you? Where is the Wheel of Fortune? Oh, wow. Okay, taking you. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Wands upright, and Five of Pentacles. Many of you are afraid to jump on a new path because it seems that you will lose a lot financially, you will lose your stability, you will have to start all over again. With the Seven of Wands, you feel like in order to jump on a new path, you must conquer new territories all over again. You must earn reputation and a name for yourself all over again, and that is scary. Okay, I'm getting a very clear message. With the Eight of Wands reversed, then Wheel of Fortune, then these cards. This Saturn retrograde, the decisions you make during this transit, the way you communicate during this transit, it will determine whether or not you will be the one to surprise people or you will be the one to be surprised. I'm getting a very clear message from the cards. It's up to you whether or not you're gonna be on top of the situation or you'll be walked all over. Depending on how quickly you decide to embrace the truth, to face the truth, to unpack the illusions and see what's really underneath, the quicker you decide to do that, the quicker you decide to communicate, leave, flee, fly, etc., the more likely it is that you will be the victorious one. Because I feel like if you don't make a quick decision, or it's not even about how quickly you make a decision, if you don't dare to speak openly and to flee the situation, the more likely it is that it will be the other person who will crush you, or the other people that will crush you. Because I'm getting that one way or another, it's like the more you play the good person, the more grace you give to the people involved here, the more likely it is that they will turn this against you and blame you for it, for the end result. Leaving is not easy, but being abandoned is not easy either. And with Leo and Capricorn, honestly, this is a matter of your own pride and how willing you are to defend it. It's not about ego, it's not about I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you, whatever. But it's about your dignity. It's about your honor, it feels like. The whole situation feels like it's about your honor and you protecting it. Because even that Knight of Wands reversed might indicate a loss of honor. And stemming from that, this might be followed by a loss of passion, a loss of inspiration. So it's very crucial that you act first. You shoot your shot first. You speak the truth first. Yeah, pile one, you have to be brave during this period, and make brave decisions if you want to be on the right path with the right people. Alright, so that's all I have. I'm going to gather the cards, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence. I hope this resonated. I hope it helps those of you who needed some guidance, and I hope to see you in my next reading as well. All of my information is in the description box below, my donation link, my services link, my Instagram page link. So yeah, I don't upload a lot on Instagram, but I do upload stories whenever I have little updates, so you may be interested to follow me there for that. So yeah, that's all I have. I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye. Hi Pile 2 and welcome to your reading. So let's see what Saturn retrograde has for you. We've got the Protection Guardian, drop your shields. I am on the right path and divinely guided. We've got the Sun and the Moon. We've got Artemis and the Mind Garden. Okay. Interesting. First of all, for some reason with the Mind Garden, I'm thinking of a concert. I feel like a lot of you during this retrograde period should go to concerts, outdoors theaters. Like, there is a need to connect with art through in nature alongside other people. Connecting with art in nature alongside other people. That is needed, required. I feel like your soul, for a lot of you, needs to be re-inspired. With the Protection Guardian and drop your shields, this is assuring you that you've got your boundaries set in stone. You've protected yourself enough. Maybe it's time to let go a little bit. Be a bit braver with the Artemis card. Instead of feeling like a victim of things, feel like the hunter. Instead of feeling like the prey, feel like the hunter, okay? For many of you, there is some sort of reunion with a soulmate that may happen during this retrograde period. Especially for those of you who are in a long distance relationship, they may come back during this time, or on the opposite, they might be far away during this retrograde period and you have more time to yourself. Some of you watching Pilots, you have a tendency to lose yourselves in relationships or in the other individual. So this time is helping you to tend to your mind garden, tend to yourself and to your needs. I'm getting now is a great time to do all the things that you love but usually never prioritize or find the time for. I'm hearing chasing ghosts with the Artemis card. And the moon, Artemis rules the moon, or at least she's connected to the moon. So, chasing ghosts, the moon represents the past. It can represent certain psychic gifts, of course. But for some of you, I feel you've been trying to recreate the past with a new person. Maybe you've been trying to recreate an old relationship with a new person, or to recreate your childhood. Um, there is something about recreating the past that is not necessary for you to enjoy life. During this time, it's good to set goals and reflect on where you hold yourself back, where others may hold you back, or where the past holds you back. It's really, really good to set goals, to work on your habits, to work on rewiring your subconscious mind. There's a lot of work being done in the subconscious mind, rebuilding it, reconstructing it, and a lot of familiar patterns are coming up to your awareness during this time for you to clear up. So you may have this transit in your fourth house, um, potentially in your eighth, in your 10th house. Music is coming up a lot in the cards. Use music to heal. Maybe you forgot to listen to your favorite songs. Maybe you stopped using your music as therapy. And I feel like for you guys, there might be a lot of things, a lot of techniques, meditation, um, affirmations, a lot of techniques to relax the mind, to give you a therapeutic experience that you've abandoned, and it's time to go back, to come back to them. But I see that for a lot of you right now, the ultimate thing that you need is setting up a goal, setting up goals. I feel like a lot of you have forgotten how to dream. Maybe you've become too preoccupied with the moon, with taking care of your immediate needs, um, protecting yourself. You've been very preoccupied with very, I want to say, primitive aspects of life. And although that is definitely important, I'm getting that you've been forgetting to set up goals, you've been forgetting to manifest. So you're encouraged to work with the moon cycles, to dream, to set intentions into the universe. Your mind needs an aim. Your mind needs an objective to pursue. When the sun and the moon come together, when they're combined, usually this indicates great creativity because you've got the illumination of the sun come into the subconscious realm of the moon. So this is where our imagination is sparked, our creative genius is activated, and you also have a lot of unconscious things come up to the surface. So there is a lot of illumination happening right now about your patterns, especially, and about the past. You might have a lot of realizations about the past and what actually happened. You may have a lot of realizations about your parental figures as well. The sun and the moon symbolize the father and the mother figure, respectively. So yeah, you may have a lot of epiphanies about how your connection to the parental figures affected your path, affected your personality, affected your decisions in life? Where are you repeating their destiny? Where are you making the same mistakes unknowingly, unconsciously? I'm getting during this time you will need a lot of journaling, a lot of mind mapping, and a lot of meditation. Drawing the Artemis card is a call to action to more enthusiastically pursue your goals and dreams. If your dream has yet to be solidified in your mind, be more adventurous in trying new paths. Artemis represents the experience it takes to know when to watch and wait and when to strike. That's interesting. So there is something here about timing, divine timing, the right timing. Perhaps you exerted a lot of energy when it wasn't needed, and you held back when you had to be active. With the sun and the moon, you guys are healing and balancing the use and the purpose of your divine feminine and divine masculine energy within, so you can use both of them in the most practical, useful way possible, so that they can fulfill their purpose of creation, because one cannot create without the other. You gotta pay attention to your thoughts, and with the sun I feel like a lot of you, also with her bathing in this moonlight, a lot of you need to improve your thoughts and to focus a bit more on positivity and enthusiasm. This is very, very key. What is Saturn retrograde allowing you to do and calling you to do? Eight of Wands reversed. The Strength card. And the Devil reversed. This is about overcoming your shadow, fighting with your shadow. And I mean, usually when we talk about the shadow, we talk about integration, you know, healing the shadow, working with the shadow. But this time it's about overcoming an aspect of you that holds you back with the Eight of Wands reversed. Overcoming your inner self-destructive tendencies. So with the Protection Guardian, the only thing you need to protect yourself from is you, right now at least. It's your negative self-talk or any just negative thoughts. You need to get rid of them about you. If you want to be on the right path, if you want to pursue your goals, you really must overcome that shadow aspect of you. And with the Strength card, you need the discipline, you need the will, you need the strength to overcome it. For some of you, there might be a temptation that comes from the past This temptation could be a person, a note, dream that you were okay with letting go of and moving on with something else, but now this dream may come back and appear as if it's possible to achieve it. That's why you must be very clear with what you want, what your objectives, what your goals are, because I see that you might be tempted to fulfill outdated wishes. Simply because they are now easier and now seem possible. But there is still that bitterness around not really following through with your true desires. So do not be tempted, do not be tempted by what seems to be easy, obvious, etc. Even if it was something that you wanted before, but if you no longer want it, don't allow it to take away your attention. The Magician. The Temperance card. You guys have 4 major arcanas. So this is a big moment for a lot of you. It's a moment that will determine the path on which you will be for a long time from now on. And the Queen of Wands reversed. The Magician and the Temperance combined together. This is about balance of your mind, prioritizing where you, what you have your attention on, distributing the amount of attention, energy that you have according to what your priorities are, being very clear with your priorities. Then that Queen of Wands, I feel like for some reason a lot of you do not fully believe that you can create something, but you think that other people can create it, or that other people first have to create it for you and then hand it to you somehow. I feel like some of you believe that your goals, your objectives require other people to do their job first, so then you can come and take over, or complete what they've started, or something like this. Or that your job, or that your achievements depend on other people's well done job. Something about this is pretty much not true. Spirit is saying that some of you have allowed your power to be taken away from you by being convinced that you need someone else for something, you need another person's help for something. Or maybe you've been convinced that manifestation doesn't work, or this and that don't really work. Don't allow people to take away your power. Don't allow people to convince you in your lack of power and your lack of influence over the situation. Because this is what I see is happening here. There might be people right now downplaying what you wanna do, what you wanna be involved in. Don't allow this. Don't allow anyone to minimize your effort. Don't allow anyone to downplay your work and your passions. Some of you will be also working, I'm gonna be very honest, through your own jealousy, with the Devil and the Queen of Wands both reversed and coming in one line. This is about jealousy, something around that needs to be overcome. Interesting. I'm getting two industries with the sun and the moon, almost like a political field and an artistic field. And I'm getting comparison or competition between two industries. So you're encouraged right now to embrace your differences from other people and to not compare what you do with what other people do. Just don't. If you're not gonna be inspired, do not compare. Because it's ruining your momentum. This comparison or trying to live up to the standards of a completely different industry while doing something else that you love personally, this is ruining your momentum. It's ruining your vibration. It's just not the best approach. With the Mind Garden, I also see you plucking out a lot of seeds, a lot of thoughts that have been planted by other people in your mind. That's why you've got the sun going into the moon. The moon connects everyone and everything. The moon loves to be part of a collective experience, but the sun is the king or the governor, the watcher of the lunar field, of the subconscious. So when the sun goes into the realm of the moon, the sun illuminates very clearly. This belongs to us, this does not belong to us. Some of it is definitely your own shadow, but some of the thoughts that hold you back are planted from other people, from other people's mind gardens. So yeah, Spirit is saying that it's good to be open to advice. However, you must rethink how much you allow others to influence you. Whether they do it knowingly and actively or passively and unknowingly. There is alchemy going on with the sun and the moon and the temperance card. The temperance card sometimes is called the art. So I feel that a lot of you are going through a period of transformation, but you have too many people talking you out or into things. Which is something that you shouldn't allow, basically. There is also, with the devil, an energy around people convincing you they have knowledge you don't and that you desperately need it if you want to succeed, but you really don't. Because with the Magician, you're being told that currently you've got all the resources that you need. You've got all the tools to mix and match with the Temperance card in order for a new creation to emerge. So you're fully equipped. You don't need to buy anyone's course right now. If you want to do it, that's fine. But if you've been peer pressured into getting an education, approaching your career in this manner rather than this manner, if you've been peer pressured into buying all the expensive skincare that maybe you don't need, there is peer pressure or tricky convincing that you need something which you don't. Not really. What I'm getting is that once you work on your shadow a little bit, once you infuse your mind with more positivity and enthusiasm and set up clear goals and clear objectives, doing the work will be easy for you. And I'm getting that you can continue to do the work with all the tools that you currently have. All the equipment, all the tools, they're good enough for you to continue to do this work. For you to continue to explore your creativity. Because with the sun and the moon and the Temperance, I'm getting that right now you're in a state of exploration. You're exploring what's possible for you. You're exploring what you like to do, what's fun for you. If you get ideas, try them out. Don't wait, don't hold back. Do not go back to old ideas that you've already forgotten, you've already given up on. Don't try to revive the past. Be present. Being present is very key here as well. Do not try to revive the past. Don't invest your resources and energy into outdated activities, into past dreams and old passions that you're over with. You're done and over with them. You've got the angel on one shoulder, the devil on another. So you really need to imbue your mind with positivity in order to listen to the angel more than you listen to the little devil, okay? Because I can tell that pile 2, sometimes you do listen to the devil when you, I mean the metaphoric devil of course, and you do involve yourself in unwanted behaviors. But this retrograde is allowing you time to fix that. It's allowing you time to set up new good habits and to prioritize the future. So, pile 2, I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope this somehow resonated or helped you. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence, and I hope I will see you in my other videos as well. All of my information is in the description box below. I've got a link to my Instagram page, to my services, and to my donation account. So yeah, that's all you really need to know. If you're interested in a reading, I book through my Ko-fi platform. I mean, my clients book with me through my Ko-fi platform. And if you want a type of reading that is currently unavailable, which I think I have slots for almost all of them, but if it's unavailable, you can email me or message me over Instagram and we can see if I'm free to open up a slot for you. Okay, thank you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello Pile 3, welcome to your reading. It's time to see what Saturn retrograde will allow you to do, what will be enabled in your life. So let's begin. We've got the Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. So it seems that Saturn retrograde is changing certain dynamics in your life and you have to adapt. I unleash my wildness and choose to be free. It's interesting you have two cards with spirit animal guides. So okay, I'm getting something about a wolf descendants, but obviously I don't mean it in a literal way. There is something here about a lineage that either worshipped wolves, worked with wolves, believed in a wolf god or a goddess, and I'm getting specifically the father line here. You have Virgo. You have Saturn, alright, interesting. You could be a Capricorn rising, you could be ruled by Saturn, or you could have a Capricorn sun and moon. So you've got Saturn rulership in your chart. Luna, mod goddess, and you've got the moon. Okay. And Aries. Oh wow. There are arrows and skulls in this card. I should read about Aries because I'm not sure exactly what she represents. I used to confuse her for a female version of Eros, but she's not that, not at all, as far as I remember. Okay. A lot of shamanism is showing up here in your cards, and also potions, cauldrons, rituals around the moon, you know, with the wolf energy here. I know you also have a fox, but for some reason I resonate with the wolf a lot more to be accurate for most of you. Now the wolf is connected to the moon, so the Luna mod goddess coming up shows me some of you have a really powerful magic when it comes to moon rituals, which enables you to begin and close cycles pretty quickly. You don't need to wait for these big transits such as Saturn moving in a certain sign or going retrograde or Pluto or Uranus. You work with the moon, so quite periodically, every new moon, every full moon, there is a sense of upgrade or cycles shifting. One cycle is closing, another cycle is opening. So I would say that you work quite quickly through situations, whether they're positive or negative. The energetic work that needs to be done, you do it very quickly, pile 3. Virgo Saturn, this is a lot of discipline and efficiency around the body. This Saturn retrograde may provoke you to think about celibacy, detoxing your body, purifying the body for a spiritual purpose, paying closer attention to your health as well. You might finally be enabled. You may finally find the time to take care of your health. With Virgo, I would definitely say mental health as much as physical, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. But yeah, I think that you finally have the time to take care of your health. You finally have more time to cook for yourselves. You finally have more time perhaps for your moon rituals, for your magic rituals, for your shamanic practices. I'm getting that Saturn retrograde is just opening up more time and space for you to do the things that you usually postpone or simply didn't have time for. Aries, the key words here are turmoil, discord, and corruption. Aries is the goddess of chaos and discord. Drawing this card indicates that there is a high level of disorder in your present reality. A matter important to your well-being is out of your control. It is incredibly important to remember that the pulse of the cosmos vacillates between order and chaos. If the situation you're facing is truly out of your hands, it is time to release all feelings of guilt and responsibility. Trust the universe to put things in order. On the other hand, if you do have the power to recreate harmony and set things right, then now is the time to do so. With Saturn and Virgo, I would definitely say you're someone who usually feels quite responsible for where they are in life. Although life sometimes deals you cards you didn't really pick, but you have to accept them. I think in some aspects of your life you're putting things back in order. You're meant to create a routine, create efficiency, have discipline. But in other parts of your life, there is this wild spirit within you telling you release the guilt, release the need to control the situation. You cannot control it even if you wanted to, so you just let it go. And see where it takes you. So there are definitely two polarities that I see here. The ultimately responsible version of you and the version of you that needs to trust spirit. Let's see. Luna Mod Goddess talks about metamorphosis, natural transformation. The Luna Mod Goddess bears witness to unfolding events and symbolizes the need to embrace the moment. The life of a Luna Moth is so very brief. Each phase of its metamorphosis is fleeting. Drawing this card reminds you that the only reality is right now, and to find joy and bliss in every moment, you can. This card symbolizes the need to trust in your universal serendipity, that you are on the correct course, and that every event has perfect timing according to its own nature. Yeah, big messages on accepting your cycles, working with your cycles, things changing very quickly. Like, things are never the same for too long in your life. With the Spirit Fox, I think that these situations provoke you to use your talents, which otherwise perhaps you let remain latent in you. I see you awakening to this call to use your talents, to put your gifts to your gifts to practice. You have the throat center being highlighted and activated. And I also think the heart chakra is activated. There is a lot of green in the cards, as you can see. A lot of you are working with healing guides, with Archangel Raphael, with healing ascended masters. And simply with the color green, I'm getting a lot of green that comes through in your meditations. I think that the Saturn retrograde will enable you to leave behind the restrictions that harmed your health, your body, as well as your inner voice. I feel like you're unleashing yourself more free than before, more freely than before. And I think that whatever the restrictions you were going through when Saturn was direct, it was affecting your body. It was making you feel as if you were capable of only so much. And I think now a lot of you will be overcoming physical limitations, physical restrictions. You might be able to achieve goals that you could never imagine before. You might be able to finally run a marathon, or, I don't know, lift up a certain amount of weight. There is something about overcoming physical boundaries, but this overcoming is not dependent simply on physical progress. It's also dependent on your emotional unleashing. So I do see how a lot of you with the Saturn retrograde are transforming emotions to help you during your metamorphosis, to help you change, to help you transform, and to help you reach new levels. Instead of allowing emotions to hold you back, I think at this time with the throat centered, you were able of using your emotions as fuel to overcome boundaries and limitations. There is definitely some sort of physical glow up that I see here. I don't know if this retrograde is happening in your first house. It could be, although I wouldn't imagine Saturn, even in the sign of Pisces, giving a glow up. But I feel like it prevented one, and now that the planet is retrograde, you're enabled to finally have it, to finally commit to a plan, to stick to a plan and see it fully manifest. I also see that if you struggled with changing your job, because Virgo rules the 9 to 5 routine and job, if you struggled with changing a job, I think that's also gonna be happening for you during this transit. I see a celebration, and it's interesting because the celebration is with your spirit guides. So perhaps some of you are a bit isolated, or you don't have anyone to celebrate with, but you have your spirit guides, and I see you celebrating some sort of victory with them. This is something that's coming through. I also feel that if you've sensed any magic being done to you, or just any energetic influence to, affect you in your life, I see that's being lifted. Because in my vision, I see a wolf running, and there are these figures, these silhouettes, and the wolf is literally biting into each one of them as it's running down this path in a forest or something. I don't see where it is happening, but the wolf is basically tearing apart these figures. So something has happened where your ancestors have suddenly decided to protect you, or your spirit team has been activated. But especially with the wolf, this is very, very loyal, very protective energy. So I do feel like it's a family member on the other side being sick and tired of seeing you in a certain situation or seeing certain people manipulate you, with the spirit fox especially. So the wolf has been unleashed. The beast that is supposed to govern you has been unleashed. And for some of you, it's interesting. I'm getting that during the Saturn retrograde, you might become a bit more comfortable with your monsters, embracing that they're here to protect you, not to scare you away. They're here to only scare away those who want to harm you in the first place. And you gotta trust that your quote-unquote monsters, or the behaviors that you deem as monsters within you, are self-defensive mechanisms, and sometimes they can be triggered in unhealthy patterns and ways. But I think that right now you're realizing that these are mechanisms that protect you. Oh wow. I'm hearing something very specific. Do not allow people to speak on your behalf. Especially if it's a situation where you feel shy or you don't want to confront someone and a friend offers to speak on your behalf. Don't do that. I'm getting that you should claim your voice again and basically speak up for yourself. Even if it comes from a good place, I think that the result will not be as good for you if someone was to speak on your behalf. Knight of Cups reversed. The Knight of Cups reversed can indicate jealousy. It can indicate a secret admirer. It can indicate someone who thinks about you but doesn't walk toward you. Two of Pentacles also reversed. And Five of Pentacles upright. Wow. There is a contract, a promise that's been abandoned here. I'm hearing someone chose their education or their job over you. It's interesting, pile 3, because I feel like this is the beginning of your selfish quote-unquote era, because you didn't expect someone to treat you in a certain way and they did. And that surprised you and you were like, oh, so I can play this game like that, I see. Okay, so apparently there are no rules. Okay, then I'm sensing this awakening within you that maybe being selfish is not so bad. For others, I see a rejection. It's either a rejection from a partner, maybe you wanted to live with someone and they say no, or they wanted to live with you and for some reason you felt like it's not the right time and you said no. But I'm getting rejection is a redirection here in your case. I'm also getting someone could have been rejected from an art school, a music school, something creative, a creative program basically. But that rejection is really redirection. With the Five of Coins being the end of these three cards, the final card, this rejection might provoke feelings within you of inadequacy or lacking the abilities, lacking the talents and the resources. That's why I think you have the Spirit Fox, because you should not fall in this belief that you lack talents, that you lack what it takes to be great at something. With Virgo and Saturn, there is a desire for greatness and perfection. So I feel that this rejection will allow you time to reflect. Do you really need this school? Do you really need these partners or these people? This rejection will really make you think about, what do I really need to fulfill my potential? What do I really want? Ten of Cups. Wow, interesting. Perhaps the rejection to live with someone, move in with someone, whether they rejected you or you them, or the rejection from a school, because I see these two possibilities here, will allow you to spend more time with family and friends, with people that you truly love. And I feel like your priorities are shifting, pile 3. I feel like you realize what inspires you and what doesn't. I'm hearing some of you waited for a decision to be made on your behalf. Some of you waited for someone else to make the decision for you. I think that's what Spirit meant by do not allow other people to speak on your behalf. You need to speak up for yourself. So don't wait for someone else to cut the cords or say goodbye or make the tough decision. You gotta gather up the courage to do it on your own. Yeah, oh my god, Strength card, absolutely. You have to have the courage to cut the cords, put an end to the soul contract, etc. Page of Cups. Okay, Page of Cups. Underneath the Five of Pentacles, I think it's interesting because I told you here, you feel like you lack the skills, the talents, you've been abandoned, maybe because you're not good enough or whatever, but with the Page of Cups underneath, you've got in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, you've got a fish inside the cup, and that's how I will always remember the Page of Cups with, there is a fish inside the cup, and that's significant because basically there is already that something manifested. There's already something that's manifested. Hold on, the order of the words was not correct. There is already something that's been manifested that you can rely on, whether it's a creative idea or a quite literal resource in terms of maybe you have an invitation for another school or you have an idea for another school. Or you have someone else, like a friend perhaps, invite you to live with them. So no matter how desperate you thought yourself to be, maybe you believed you really lacked resources, you really needed someone for something, I think this Saturn retrograde, you will realize that you really did not need this person, and that will enable you to leave a situation where you weren't truly happy in, a situation where you waited for someone to make the decisions, to dictate the dynamic, because you weren't brave enough, because you were like, I am at the mercy of this person or this institution. But I see an epiphany that you really didn't need it. You have the strength to build something of your own, to build yourself up without anyone or anything, and that you have all the tools indeed. You have all the talents that you need. So it's funny because I'm getting that right now in your life, either a person, once again, or an institution, think that they will hurt you by rejecting you or whatever, by saying no, by saying goodbye, by ceasing a connection, but they don't realize that that's exactly what you've been waiting for. And just like the fox, you will come out of a situation where you are supposed to be the one who's hurt, who cries, etc. You will come out of this situation quite happy, quite victorious actually. And it will shock people how you bring yourself back up as if nothing happened. I think that you will really surprise people with your resilience at this time, with your ability to emotionally contain yourself and channel that emotion into something beautiful, into something that builds you up, builds up your name, your status, your skill set, etc. Is there anything else that you need to know, pile 3? Anything else that pile 3 needs to know about the Saturn retrograde? So, for example, if you lose your job, you might finally start your own business and start making a lot more money than you used to, and your ex-co-workers, colleagues would be like, whoa, pile 3 really did it. How did they do that? Were they planning this all along? I feel like people will be really shocked at how good you are at always falling on your feet, never on your back, just like a cat. You're very flexible and agile and witty, just like a fox. And it's like, no matter what cards the world deals you this time, I think you will handle it pretty gracefully to the point where you really surprise people. Wow, okay. 8 of Cups and Queen of Cups reversed. So anything else that you need to know, you might end up walking away from a friend that kept a lot of secrets from you. For some reason, it's interesting. I'm seeing someone with red hair, but not a red head. This could be someone who dyed their hair, and I see darker red, so yeah, it's not this gingery pumpkin red that we usually think of. When we think of someone with natural red hair, I'm getting someone with dyed dark red hair, like cherry red or something. You're walking away from this person. Also, I'm getting you're walking away from someone who was probably very creative with the Queen of Cups, but too idealistic. Their creations never came into fruition. Their ideals never came into fruition. Some of you could be walking away from a mother figure that is manipulative, that isn't very nurturing. With the 10 of Cups and the Strength card, this could talk about newfound family, so spending time with your newfound family. Remember how I said you might have more time to prioritize family, friends, etc. But this could be a newfound family. You could find new friends and new people that you finally resonate with. You are a lone wolf, but I'm getting that you're hauling to the moon. Your frequency, your energy is currently attracted new people. And during the Saturn retrograde, I see simply a reflection on who and what you need to walk away from. But after the Saturn retrograde, I think a lot of things will snap back into place as they're supposed to be. I think that a lot of the things meant for you will finally arrive as well after the retrograde period ends. Others of you guys are walking away from addictions, being addicted to some sort of escapistic tendency. It could be as innocent as watching YouTube videos all day long to alcoholism or other substances, but I see you walking away. Yeah, during the Saturn retrograde, because you have the time to reflect, I think you also have the time to gather up your strength and deal with all the things that you were sweeping under the rug, and that creates the ultimate metamorphosis. For others, I'm getting this female figure here that you might be walking away from. I don't know why I'm seeing a school teacher or someone who wants to become a school teacher. Yeah, well, that's all I'm picking up on pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you will visit my channel for my next pick a card as well. Let me know how you resonated with the messages here in the comment section below. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to support my work, and I've got all of my information in the description box. I've got my Instagram page, my Ko-fi page where you can book a reading. If any of the readings that you wish to book are unavailable, you can always email me or message me via Instagram to ask if I can, open up a slot for that specific reading, because I have different types of readings that I offer, including natal charts, and I also have my donation link for those of you who want to support me. I'm very, very grateful and appreciative for all of you, all of your time and energy and attention to the readings. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you very soon in my next one. Bye.